Hereby call on January 12th, 2026, a meeting of the Town of Hanson Planning Board to order at 6:30 p.m. I'd also like to announce for those in attendance that this meeting is being recorded for distribution on Whitman Hanson Community Access. Playback times and other related information on this recording can be found at whca.tv. And with that call to order, we have a full planner's office with the town planner and the town planning administrative assistant present this evening, and 4 members of the board with Mr. Beninado not in attendance. Happy New Year to everybody, first and foremost. I'd like to say that. The first item of business that we have on our agenda this evening is approval of the December 8th, 2025 open session public meeting minutes. It's item 1 in your packet. Any questions or comments in regards to the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion's been made by Mr. Cohen on the floor for approval of the minutes.
I'll second it.
Properly seconded by Mr. Robertson. Any questions in regards to that motion? All set? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 401, Tony. That minute, those minutes are approved. Tonight's appointments, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 appointments on our agenda this evening. The first we have is at 6:31, the time being 6:31, for 212 Industrial Boulevard, map 52, lots 17 and 16, for an update and progress review of the revised preliminary sketches for the future site development. The property is owned by the town of Hanson, and engineering work is being funded through a one-stop grant received by the town through Mass Developments. Town planner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the board has seen this previously, but there's been a little further work done on it. The consultant went to the Conservation Commission. They had filed an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation.
Yes.
And it was approved by the Conservation Commission. So the wetland line, as you see outlined here, has been approved and is valid for 3 years. I had asked the consultant to take a look at this, re-examine this site, because the representatives from Mass Development were concerned about how small the site is and how much it yields. They like to see buildings that are like 50,000 square feet and up. Obviously, this site would not be conducive to that, at least on a single plane or a single floor. So what the consultant has taken a look at is, see, that's a concept. That's good. So concept 3 and 4. So concept, you have 4 concepts here. Concept 1 is 10,000 square foot building, single story, 30 spaces. Second concept was another single story. Concept 1, access comes in from Franklin Street. Concept 2, access comes in from the abutting property to the north. After sitting with the consultant and the representatives from Mass Development, we took a look at basically adding floors to this. So because Franklin Street sits much higher than the site, it drops off. They looked at creating a building that has 20,000 square feet, 10,000 per floor, and that would yield 42 spaces. And then concept number 4 is looking at having 10,000 square feet of industrial on the first floor and 5,000 square feet of office on the second floor. And they would need 42 spaces, and they have a shortfall of 2 spaces, which I think you can easily find down here, 2 spaces if need be. So that these 2 concepts were better received with Mass Development, because obviously now we're doubling in size, square footage wise, but it's in a vertical sense versus a horizontal sense.
What's the composition, Tony, of the 20,000? It's office space as well on the second floor?
Yeah, so concept number 3, you have 10,000 in industrial on the first floor, 10,000 industrial / office on the second floor. So the requirement for parking spaces would be 42. So I mean, I think we could get more out of it. Mass Development was happier with it, and they're willing to keep moving forward with the grant. And so the next step is going to be doing some soil evaluation, going out there and doing like 3 test pits, one where the building is, one where the drainage is, one where the parking lot would go. So we continue to move forward with this, and hopefully we'll have a final report with this by springtime.
Is anybody having conversations with the abutter?
I'm actually going to reach out to the abutter, send him a letter.
Yeah.
I was just waiting till after the holidays, but I'm going to send him a letter regarding, if he'd be interested in granting any kind of access through his parking lot via an easement onto this site, and see what he says.
And the only other option, he shuts that down completely. The only other option is coming off for Franklin, right?
Yeah, it'd be the easiest option, because as you can see, we're talking already about filling in about 4,000 square feet and replicating 5,000 over here.
Over there.
So instead of cutting across here, coming off of Franklin would be an easier work.
Any questions from the board?
Yes.
Mr. Ellis?
Are you gonna replicate the wetlands?
Yep.
Up there?
Yep, right here.
Why, is that an upland area?
Yes.
Why don't you just leave it there as a wetland area and replicate it over where the cul-de-sac is?
Well, this is where they're filling. This is where, right over here, Don, if you look at the screen, right here is where they're filling. And I had told them that. I had said to the consultant, there's area here and this area here. And it still could come to that. They just happen to designate it here right now because they were still able to make everything work. But it is something I did point out to them that, there's upland here, there's upland here.
Put something up there, the upland area, so you can put some more buildings up there.
Up here, by
Yeah.
the street, no, you wouldn't have enough room. That's
Why?
setbacks. You just don't have enough room.
Oh yeah, I see it, you will. See, there's your picture right there.
Yeah. Are you talking about adding in here?
Yeah, and just move it all over there.
Oh, you might be able to make this building bigger, yeah, if
Yeah.
you move the replication area. Yeah, I told them that. I mean, there's still other options to look at, but this is just what they had come
Because
up
once you get in there, once you do it, then they're very reluctant to changes.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're doing here is to just come up with something that we can present, market, the final design, whoever or whatever we decide, that replication area might move and go up there where, now the drainage can get tucked into that corner, the building can maybe be made a little bit bigger, parking can get slid over. So these are just concepts,
Well, if you can get a hold of somebody to give you their feeling of what they can do once you can get it up to, because there is things that you can do moving it around. I've never done it.
Oh, it's good, Tony. Thank you. Great. Any other questions? Next up, 2026 Planning Board goals. Discuss goals for the 2026 year based off the master plan, housing production plan, and open space and recreation plan. Town planner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, here we are, 2026. We have, an updated master plan. We have an updated open space and recreation plan. We have an updated housing production plan, which is currently before the state for final approval. So, what I want to know is, now looking at, there was goals in the master plan. There was goals for land use. There was goals for economic development, for housing, agricultural, natural and cultural resources, open space, recreation, sustainability and climate resiliency, transportation. So, facilities and services. I didn't know if I sent the board these goals that were out of the master plan, right? So that maybe it plants a seed. Is this, if you read through those goals and say, okay, as a board, we'd like to maybe tackle something in those goals that maybe we could, work on in 2026 and accomplish? You know, do you want to work on open space? Do you want to work on housing? Do you want to work on transportation, land use? Is there something, you know, that, is there a goal that the planning board sees as a need that, hey, it'd be nice to try and move this forward, that we could work with these other boards, such as like, you know, conservation and so forth? So I brought this as a matter of discussion, so, you know, let's see if maybe we can find something that, maybe it's low hanging fruit, I don't know, but maybe we could find something that we could tackle, we could get grant money for, you know, we could accomplish, and sort of check it off the master plan, because obviously the whole idea was create the master plan and actually use it to try and, you know, tackle the goals that are in the master plan.
Right.
Instead of it just being a static document, we can actually try and tackle some of the things. So I mean, you know, so I don't know if you had time to think about it over the weekend, read through it. If you need a little more time, that's fine. We can talk about it in February, but, you know.
Yeah, I myself, Tony, I really think that the town needs to grasp in my opinion, a couple things. This is just, I'm not speaking for the board, but in my opinion, I think that there's a couple things that I would consider to be low-hanging fruit that I think that we could really focus on. One, economic development down in the South Hanson Main Street. You know, we have that up and coming improvement plan for sidewalks. If that happens to come to fruition, I know that there's some private landowners down there that have some fairly large have a fairly large parcel that could absolutely become something and bring a lot to that South Hanson area. And you know, auxiliary from that, we also have, you know, all the trails that come by there. So I just really think it's the same thing that I thought 10 years ago. I think that South Hanson area could become something more than the blight that it is now. On top of that, I was thoroughly impressed with your attempts of trying to redevelop something for public works, you know, so the highway department and up what your concept coming up off of the side of the road there next to the old police department, the old police station. I think that also, whether that's, you know, certainly down the road, fine, but our highway department, it's just long, it's a long enough time now where we need to start addressing and focusing on providing them what they need. Mm-hmm. So that's my spin on, you know, what we've been trying to do all these past years is to bring better PR and better attention to the fact that the highway department, you know, obviously if those guys have the proper tools, then the town's going to be properly maintained. If the staff are working, you okay, Mr.
I'm tickling my throat.
If the staff are working in a building that's up to standard, you know, they're going to be a lot happier coming to work. And so that quality of life for those employees is highly important. So South Hanson, working with our public works departments and whatever we need to do to figure something out about what's going to happen with the old McQuan property. Because that old McQuan property has a large parcel that's out behind it. I think it's high time, you know, not to say that it needs to have any kind of mass development or anything like that. I think that concept of moving highway up to the roadway, whether that's a combined, because now you're seeing those multi-use buildings going together, where it's a highway and a fire department, or it's a highway and a police, or it's fire and a police. If it's fire and a police that are going to go off, then something needs to be done with the highway department. So I actually think, I do know that the fire station's got some age to it. Our police department's not that old. So I think a combined highway fire would be a perfect concept. But at the same time, moving and developing a beautiful park and rec area over at McQuan like you have proposed on that concept plan, I think is a phenomenal idea. And it's going to bring a lot more interaction with the library. And I just think that those three areas, in my mind, are the three that the town really should look at and focus on. You know, where that's going to go, who knows. At the same time, we've observed over the past 2 or 3 years now, the 40Y, the 40Rs, that, you know, we've observed all those. And I understand that the concepts are out there, the abilities are out there, but it's high time that Hanson just stays focused on what we have boots on the ground today instead of trying to reinvent the wheel for something else. So what we have, and we've had it on for quite a while, is the need to upgrade our highway department. Our public work department needs to get some attention. All the while still sustaining and supporting EMS for fire and for police and doing all that. But those three entities, I really think that that's what we should hyper focus on. I like the fact that the most recent applicant with a preliminary plan is possibly addressing an egress, second egress to the middle school. That's always been an issue, so I'm happy to see that happening. But I think that those three areas, instead of trying to, look at a different zoning and that, we've got some stuff that I think are low-hanging fruit that I think that we can absolutely put into a concept and tackle. And I also like the idea about, the possibility of a data center or something of that nature coming down to that Hawks Ave. Aside, I know that it's a drain with the power, and I know that it's a drain as far as water and stuff like that, but that stuff should not go derelict any longer than it already has. That's my opinion. Anybody else?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Whatever you just said, I agree.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was well said.
Well said.
I think we do need to focus on that, the McQuan project. There's been so much time put in by Tony and the board, and a lot of back and forth and thoughts, and I think the highway department does need to be addressed. I think that would be great. Maybe we could explore more of the dual use buildings.
Yeah.
Biggest problem is money.
Sure.
Money, yep,
Sure.
always
We
about.
we all wanna do something,
Yeah.
We've been trying to get our project on for, we must be 8 years now on the High Street project.
Yeah.
That highways building's been there since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? It's that same building. I remember playing baseball right there and everything. So it definitely needs an upgrade and a place to store the equipment in, because, salt and everything. Machines get beat up on, trucks don't get properly, because they don't have the equipment to clean, and we spend more money in parts and etc. So
The vehicles that if they are covered, they're sitting in a damp, dank environment anyway, so they're just rusting away,
Yeah.
So it's got to be a climate-controlled environment. I agree 100% with Don saying about the park on High Street, that as well. It seems like that's starting to grow some legs, though. We might have some movement on that,
It's gonna come to a conclusion on the 15th of February,
There we
one
go.
way or another,
Yep, perfect.
plain and simple.
Yeah.
Be nice.
It's that's on that front, I have, it was a land use and water conservation grant and parklands and development of parks. So I applied for the grant. I applied for $500,000. It's competitive, it's a new grant. Good news is on the 18th of February, the state's coming down to do a site walk.
Nice.
I just received an email Friday from the grant coordinator, and she asked, "Hey, can you meet me out there on the 18th of February? I'm going to do a bunch of them." And sure, absolutely, meet you out there, and I can walk around. And fingers crossed that we can get that grant, some kind of money from that grant towards that park.
Would that be, I don't mean to interrupt you, but my mind, the thoughts sometimes just, boop, but, it's trying to get the money, so when you get it, use it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I want to go for the PARC park grant as well. That one's a bigger grant. I'm trying to go after as many grants as I can for that park, just because obviously to reduce the cost to the residents as far as like town meeting, which is the same thing what we're trying to do for highway. The reality of it is, it's a 10,000 residents. This isn't Whitman. This isn't $20-30 million DPW giant building.
Right.
This town, we have to look at being MacGyver. What can I do with a busted elastic, a twisted paper clip, and a ballpoint pen? And that's what I'm trying to do with facilities and so forth, so that it's like, look, it may not be $20 million Taj Mahal, but it's gonna be way better than what you have now, and we can make it work and try and keep the money
Yep.
down, so that we're not, you know, having a big ask of the residents on taxes.
Right.
Was there I heard like through discussion like $5 million is going to the highway building itself to like renovate it or something. That's what I heard.
Our current,
Yeah.
no, there's a lot of different numbers out there. We're trying to look at for highway. I'm trying to work with facilities and the highway superintendent to come up with something that's, say, a project between $3 and $5 million, because we think that's something that's doable. You know, not again. We can't come into the residents of Hanson and go,
Yeah.
$20 million.
$20 million.
There's no grants for
Yeah.
highway buildings.
Right.
You know, and it just doesn't make sense. There's only 4 people that work there right now. They need personnel on top of a location. So we're trying to, you know, we're trying to do the best. We're trying to do
Oh,
the
I
best we can.
applied.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
We're trying to do the best we can to, you know, screen doors and paint, and it's way better than where you are, and know your audience.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think sometimes what happens and it gets lost a little bit, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody or anything like that. It's oh, I want a new building. Well, yeah, but it's nice when it's somebody else's money.
Sure.
Yes.
And you can't think of it. You have to know your room. You have to know your audience, and you have to think of your project as if you were doing your own house. You know, if your house is 30 years old and you go, well, my house needs some work. You don't just bulldoze it and start over unless it's really falling apart. You know, you renovate, and you know you want to. So there has to be, I think, some thought process in that. And I think in any town that sometimes gets lost. You know that, and as a taxpayer. It just drives me that, you know, somebody says, oh, you know, I want a new $50 million building. Yeah, well, that's great. I'd like $50 million in my pocket. You know? So, you know, you have to just, it has to be
Well,
economical, you know.
But for anybody that's ever been out of all of our public works buildings, public buildings for the town, if anybody that's ever been to the highway,
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, out of all the departments that we have,
It's run its course.
the one department that we have always said, you know what, maybe next time we'll get to that. Maybe next time. And I feel bad. I feel bad for the employees that are in that building that are saying, you know, like hearing that, you know.
Yeah, it's a tough building, so we're trying to do the best we can and be conscious of the cost, because we have to be.
Yeah.
We're not a big town. We have to be conscious of the cost.
And-
And we have a community where right now you have a community that you have a high percentage of residents who are on fixed incomes because
right.
they retire,
That's right.
and you can't expect them to cover.
Right.
You know, you're gonna price them right out of town. So.
But out of all of the past years that we've been dealing with that MBTA zoning, you know, we listen to the constituents, and then we absolutely listen to what the alternative would have been. And if anybody that's listening to this meeting from here into the future, every time the town planner says, I applied, he's holding the government of the state's feet to the fire. So that continue with that as well, Tony, and good on that. Every time there's a grant that comes out, you're jumping right on it.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, if nothing against directly to the governor, but we're going to ask you to put your money where your mouth was. You know, the state wanted, Beacon Hill wanted the MBTA zoning, Town of Hanson abided, and it's time to show us that return of investment. So you know, that's what every time I hear Tony say I apply, I know it's because he's got his finger on the pulse of where all the grants are.
There's a lot of them, and they're getting a lot more competitive. I had a conversation with a gentleman from the state talking about our previous grants, and the majority is we weren't complying, so we got shot down. That's
Right.
really, but that's not the exact reason they give you. But for instance, Mass Development had a budget, I think he said it was Mass Development had a budget of $3 million for grants. They received $18 million in requests.
Oh wow!
Because communities now are all communities are struggling
right.
financially, so everybody's trying to jump on the grant. So you have to really do your best to try and sell to get the grant. They're just getting a lot tougher, especially with the, you know, but there's more of them. There's just so many of them.
So so as far as the highlights of the town, those are the things that I've been thinking about internally here at the town hall. I want to make sure that the efforts that Tony has made through our planning office to make sure that there is a lot more continuity between the planning department and the other departments. Continue on that path, Tony, please. That's been a breath of fresh air, that we've started to have some walls come down. We've started to have a little bit of collaboration with other departments. It's nice to see that, and I think that that absolutely should and shall continue. In my own personal mind, one of the things that I've spoken with some of the select board about, and something that I would like to see continue, and I'm going to try to possibly see if might be something we could get on for the next town meeting. I'm not sure how that's going to work, whether it goes for the labor board, but we all know, sitting on this board, we all know that Tony's position and Tony's qualifications are much more than a quote-unquote town planner. Mm-hmm. I truthfully believe that Tony's position should technically be town engineer, especially with some of the education and background that Tony has. So I myself have been trying to make some efforts to talk with a town administrator and some other folks here at the town hall about Tony's position itself. And it would be nice to, as we, over these next couple months, as we approach town meeting, I myself, Tony, I'm not sure how you feel about that, but I believe that your position should be town engineer, not town planner, based off of a bunch of different reasons. And we can get into that, you know, as these next weeks and months come up. But I myself personally, as far as second floor and the town hall goes, I believe that that office should be town engineer, because that's the work that you've been doing. And
appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And dare I say, doing without compensation for those kinds of things.
Yes.
You know, absolutely. Tony has contributed to the town in ways that the citizens of the town probably don't know. We've tried to highlight those at a bunch of the different public outreach meetings. But as far as moving into 2026, I think that that is a key point for the second floor of this building, to have a town engineer, because that's truly what Tony is.
Mm-hmm. Definitely need one of those, though.
I commend you for that. It's hard to get the money away from them. Mm-hmm. When I first came into Hanson, I went on the fire department, and I had a guy come up to us and said, there's that little shack across the street from down where the railroad tracks are, where the coffee shop is and stuff. He said, we gotta go get some money to keep the ambulance going.
Oh.
And I said, what are you talking about? And we weren't educated for this stuff anyway. And he said, just go out and knock on doors. We had to knock on doors every night to get cash from the residents. I felt so damn bad, you know, knocking on there, you know, and saying, we need some money to keep that going. Well, call me back next week, maybe I'll get some, you know. It was miserable.
Yeah.
You know? But they did, they showed up with the money, and then then they started getting the stuff from what do you call it, the ambulance. You know, regular ones. So you go in the hospital and they'll give you the material that you need and stuff to keep it boxed up. It's tough. It really is. There's a lot of people that don't have enough money.
Yeah, and I, as a planner, I'm trying to look at, again, I'm also a taxpayer, and I've seen the other side, you know, and I see the consultants, the money, and again, I'm not throwing shade. Hey, they get paid what they get paid, but you know, even when I was on the private side, I see what towns are paying for consultants and reports and all that. I mean, when you look at the master plan, 100 pages, it cost us $100,000. That's $1,000 a page. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, realistically, that's a lot of money. And as a taxpayer, I go, really, $100,000? You know, and a lot of it, not taking anything away of it. There's a lot of work, there's a lot of research and all that stuff, but you go, that's kind of crazy money for taxpayers to have to foot that kind of bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, when we had the master plan and finished, I had a copy of it, and I showed my wife. I said, you want to see what a $100,000 book looks like? Here you go.
Yeah. I thought the $600 blue book was expensive.
Yeah, you know, and you know, we were fortunate, like the housing production plan, we were able to get that for 18.5. And we had different prices from 18.5 all the way up to $65,000. So it just, you know, I try and look at it as from the, when we, in the private sector, when we had a client, you had a project, but you also had a budget. You know, you just didn't, you had a budget. And I just try and carry that through here as well, that's all.
So I think as far as all of the different goals and the different highlights, I think, so public facilities and services, the focus should be with highway, transportation, we've got the sidewalk improvement down on Main Street, sustainability and climate resiliency, I don't know if we need, if there's anything in my mind that's open space and recreation. I think that, oh man, Dave's last name, from conservation,
Mansfield?
thank you. I think that Mr. Mansfield from Conservation has been doing the yeoman's work and a great job, and he really does deserve the credit for that. Natural resources and cultural resources, I think the town of Hanson does a great job as far as preserving our conservation lands. Housing, it's going to be a bedroom community. There's really not much we can change on that. I don't think it's going to balloon up, and the town citizens that are listening, they shouldn't be as concerned to say that Hanson's going to be overdeveloped, because that's just not the case. The zoning protects it. Our zoning protects overdevelopment, economic development, that Route 27 corridor, and land use. Again, it goes back to protecting our zoning. So I think we've got some really good goals that we've already hit. It's just a matter of maintaining that and keeping that juggernaut going. So I think over these past years, and you know, you coming on board, Tony, that's really what's made a lot of this take off, and I got to give that credit where it's due. So.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I just, like I said, I'm a doer. I just like, I try to get things done. You know, when you can't get it done, just try it. Really, that's what I get frustrated. But just keep plugging away.
What I'd like to do on the park, and once we get the plans are all done, we'll go to make it known that we'll know, well, what do we call it? When you not nominate, but when you make a name for it. So if he wants to come in with 400 or 500 money, we'll name it after you for 10 years, like they did.
Oh, a nomination
Yeah,
committee?
like, what's his guy? Bit football. Yeah.
So if you get like Robert Kraft,
Yeah.
spends the money, he get the park named
It
after him.
works, they do it. If there's another, to these guys that wanna see their lights, their name and lights and stuff, they'll do it.
I think that once we get the final concept plan going, and I think that, you know, sitting with the community access to do a program with them, I think that's going to be a really good time, good opportunity to PR that. I've had a few people that have said, hey, I heard there's some kind of park thing that's going on, so just unfortunately we're not able to show them something, you know. That's,
Yeah, other than the plans we have, you
Yeah.
know, it's just. Yeah.
and I was just thinking over this past, when it had snowed, the first thing my daughter said to me, and that's why I reached out to you, the first thing my daughter said to me is, Dad, it snowed, can we go to Halifax and go sledding?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, why don't we have our own sledding hill in Hanson?
Yeah.
So, and Tony was showing me that with a little bit of clearing, that park actually, it can turn into something in the wintertime for the kids to sled down. Right? I don't know how steep it's going to be, but
It depends on where you lay. You can get it pretty steep in some
Yeah.
spots and gentle in others.
so that's going to be, when that's all said and done, I think that's going to be great that our kids come to, you know, and maybe other people will come to our town. And it didn't hit me until my daughter said, I want to go to Halifax. And it's like, geez, why does Halifax keep getting the sledding kids? Oh, because there's a steep hill.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
everybody stopped by Dunkin' Donuts. Everybody, all the parents that were standing there,
Yeah.
all had something from the local business.
Yeah.
Even myself.
Yeah.
So much like the town moderator, you know, I bought this nip today from your business. You know, I bought a Dunkin' Donuts cup when I went to Dunkin' Donuts in Halifax, and I was standing looking, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! Everybody that's here with their kids sledding, they're all just went to someplace right around the corner." So,
Yeah.
if High Street had a nice sled hill for the wintertime,
you could probably get a good tubing hill.
Yeah.
You could probably get a black diamond tubing hill.
I don't know. We didn't go that far.
Depending on where you lay it out.
Yeah.
You
We
could go
got
from
nice big sign.
black diamond to a gentle one.
Yeah, we got to have a nice big sign though that says "sledding at your own risk," right? So, but I think we're
Christmas
on the way.
vacations. There you go.
Could we get some kind of a curved hill, right?
Oh, that's the thing that never comes out because of the fact it's the liability insurance.
Post it.
Yeah.
I saw plenty of kids crying,
Well, we'll-
crying at Halifax. The parents like, just get up, rub some snow on it, you'll be all right.
Let's change you are now in Hanover.
Well, yeah. So I think that's where I wanted to, that's my points that I wanted to make for this particular agenda item topic.
Okay, yeah, if there's any other, email me, let me know. And we can start looking into that stuff. Yeah.
Any other comments or concerns about the 2026 planning board goals? Moving on, 6:40, a little bit later, I thought we were gonna be out of business. Proposed trail webpage, town planner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as part of economic development, one thing we're trying to do is, one thing Hanson has is open space.
Yeah.
And trails, and a lot of them. So to that end, we're trying through economic development to come up with a way to promote that. We created through brochures, we have 11 brochures for 11 different trails in town. We have them here at Town Hall, Library, Senior Center. We have them up on our webpage. Jay is pursuing her master's in library science.
Oh, good for
and
you.
is currently enrolled in what university? Simmons.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. 'Cause then, yeah. And so, as part of her school, one of her school projects, they're developing a webpage. So she is is the lead of her project, and they've come up with a webpage. And if you want to carry it through, or you want me to
Well, I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Went just straight.
train?
Yeah.
Ah,
Wow, that's cool. How'd you make the water do that?
Yeah.
I know, that's.
I have my notes there too.
I'll sit over here.
You can't do that on ChatGPT.
No.
The people are still needed. Tony keeps asking me that. How much is ChatGPT?
Yeah, get a beat for that.
So yeah, as Tony said, this started off as a school project, but Tony and I have a lot in common, and I tend to obsess about things, so it's kind of bloomed a bit from the school project. Sorry, you have to see this again, Kevin.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's worth it.
Yeah, we just we presented this to the EDC already.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a video? I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Drone footage.
Very cool.
Whereabouts is that taken?
At Burridge Pond.
Right. Okay.
This was from someone at the Old Colony Planning Council who
Okay.
sent this to us and gave us permission to use it.
Very cool.
So yeah, the idea is to have a page that if somebody is looking up for places to go walk on trails, that Hanson comes up as a place to go.
Yeah.
So
Getting out on the Google feeds and everything? Yeah, nice.
yeah. So this is not live yet. We're working on making it live, and then it'll be presented to the select board before we start advertising it.
You gotta blow them away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so here's the website. We call these cards, just, interesting things that people I would click on. These are all actually clickable. This section would be updatable. So if, a trail was closed because there was a tree over it, you'd be able to, push an update there.
Okay.
These are made up at the moment, but I am working on getting ones from actual people around, but just something to catch people's eyes. The more you have kind of on a front page, keep people on there a little bit longer. Similar here, just more things that are clickable for what to do. We have a footer.
Yeah, very cool.
I like the events section too, so people have nothing to do. They can look it up, say, "Oh, I'll go do a hike with a group of people." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the idea with that too is like the
Yeah,
library
one thing.
does trail hikes, and
Just
like
the
there's
water.
already some happening
Just
that
the
people just
water.
don't know.
Just the water. Just it. It's very important in the cranberry bogs and stuff. With all DDT back then and so on.
So if you go to the browse page,
Before you
there
get into it.
is an option to sort of separate the trails by activity. So like as you click, they start to go down for the trails that work best for those activities. Boating is the one that has the least amount of things, that's easiest to see.
Equestrian. I'd add that on there. Equestrian trail.
We've got that
Do you? Nice.
here, but we don't have it in the trails. I didn't ever notice that. Thank
What's
you.
awesome is the horseback riders, they'll go out and knock the trails down when there's snow.
Nice. I feel like at some point in time horseback riding was on here, but I've messed with
No,
it.
you had it, I saw it.
So yeah, and then this is also a functioning search feature, so you know, if you wanted to do it this way instead, it'll still take you to
Oh,
the ones
cool.
that are
That's
efficient.
cool.
Then we have a trails page that lists out all the trails. Just a little picture from the trail and some brief information. And then if you click on learn more, or if you click on any of the trails here, it takes you to a separate trail page. So the trail pages have information about the trail, about where to park. I made these so that it takes you to actual places you can park on Google Maps, and I even corrected some things on Google to make that a little bit better. Gives you just general information about the trail. You know, we're in the Stump Brook and the Taunton River watershed, things you can do there. And then importantly, what kind of started all this is you have trail maps. So you can pull this up on your phone if you're going hiking and have a trail map that you can take with you.
Another idea for this, if there's any possibility, Jay, is to try to collaborate and maybe get some information on somebody that might be Algonquin or somebody that might be Massasoit or
I actually reached out to the Algonquin tribe and I never heard anything back.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
also thought that would be really,
Yeah, I have a connection. I'll make a phone call.
yeah,
Because
That would be great.
Don pointed out to one of us, pointed out to the board a few weeks ago, the separation point of the native land and is in Hanson. Yeah, it's on right down the street from your house, isn't it? The separation point where the Major's Purchase and all that took place. It was
Oh, yeah, the different areas.
so.
Yeah, that
So
would be really
I'll make a
cool.
phone call and see if it.
We had brought in a Native American to look at the property around here, if we could find an area that they might have been summer place, winter place, or things like that. And he said, no, there was nothing. There's nothing.
Well, there used to be a couple in the I think up until the 40s, the late 40s. There was a few families that would still set up teepees in the summertime.
Oh, yeah, that's probably just coming down for some area, but there was no village. like-
No, yeah, no permanent. Yeah.
Right, but you can always set it up. There is no reason not to, because I mean, all these lands that was there. And, you know, if you had an ancestor, you say, get off my land. You know, but no.
This is
it's-
great.
Yeah,
So under the trails, we also have a gallery. So I got a lot of great pictures, mostly from Dave Mansfield. And, you know, I didn't want to flood each individual trail page with just a ton of pictures, so I made just a gallery. And this is also clickable, so you can see it larger.
yeah, but we need also, we gotta get some sort of monies to be able to do stuff. And it's nice to say, well, we could have this and that, but we can't knock on doors, because they just won't give it to you, because most of them can't afford it. Somehow, we gotta look for grants or something that might be available.
Yeah, there's trail grants available that we're looking at. That's
Right.
one, so there's actually, I don't know if there's a trail grant's gonna be opening up. I'm gonna chase, you know, I've been talking with Dave Mansfield. So yeah, conservation has some monies. We try and go after trail grant monies, so we're trying to do everything we can. And he's done a lot of stuff. I mean, he's done a ton of work, as you said, Mr. Chair, on these and we've had Dave involved in this since day one. You know, brochures and you know, he's seen the web page, and the town is maybe going to transition to a new web platform, or if not, we're working with IT to basically be able to transfer either what Jay's done to our platform or portions of, but we're working together with that so we can make, so this is gonna be something that's gonna eventually go live. Town of Hanson, you know, here we are,
Awesome.
and, you know, try and promote it as much as we can, you know, as an industry. It's probably the biggest industry you have. You know, cranberry's gone.
Untapped resource. It's
Yeah.
absolutely an untapped resource.
And that's what brought me to Hanson before I started working here, was my husband and I liked to go walking in the woods, and we were like, oh man, this town has a lot of places to walk, and so, yeah, I definitely think it's an untapped resource.
Do some of these trails have like benches? So like, say if somebody's old and like needs to take a break, or
Not many of them.
Not
do.
many,
I
okay.
think that is something I noticed. Somebody's been adding Adirondack chairs at Smitty's Bog. I noticed.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's in like a few different places. I don't know.
Huh.
They just have been popping up, which is nice. They're in good places if you want to go have a little sit.
I know Dave's been doing a lot of bridges,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's probably working on benches, you know.
that's like something you can have Votech do,
right,
build benches.
Tech or the Boy Scouts or something
Yes.
like that, yeah.
But even applying for grants and stuff, you know, if you have this platform where you're showing, like, we have all of these trails, if we could just improve them a bit,
Yep.
you know, and bring people to them more. So this is our about page. We've got some general Hanson information. Again, you can click on any of the photos here.
That's awesome.
Some of this came from
Ocean
the
Spray.
Historical Commission.
They don't generally put out, you said something about it like a fountain for water,
No.
if you're walking.
No, he was
Like
was talking
benches.
about benches for the sitting area.
I got that part.
Yeah.
Because you can't use the potable water like they used to have in the schools. You don't have them in the schools anymore, do you?
No. Well, filtered water now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all filtered water.
yeah, because it just, they were getting sick, you know? I don't know, everything is, it was, good things usually good, and then somehow they get it wrong, messed up.
Don't drink out of the stream.
Makes both sides.
That looks great.
What's those dogs? I've seen a lot of your dogs up there.
What's that? Me? Yeah.
I like the font and the color scheme you picked too. It's nice.
Yeah.
Very aesthetic. It's
I
nice.
really went off of the brochures that we already
Yeah.
had, and
Yeah.
then
It's cool.
I kind of made this little logo that we've been putting on some other stuff with Dave for Hike too. Really trying to kind of push this social media thing with the
Yeah.
hashtag Hike Hanson. But you know, there's more just general info on the about page, what's a conservation area, trail etiquette, hours, and then this is just a section to say thanks for the people who contributed to the website.
Well, you're right, the more you have for the public to use, they'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's only, the only thing that'll keep them from coming there is the weather.
That's
Like
a
you
good
said-
picture. That was a great picture because that's fish on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the cross country skiing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got pages for all of these activities. They have their own pages, but you can
Alright.
go here and kind of see. This is really funny. I accosted these people at Smitty's Bog one day when I saw them when I was there walking because they looked so perfect with
They
their
do.
camo and their gun and their dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Can I take a picture of you?" And they let me. So
That's great.
Just so
And,
happens, he owns some land next to that where he was there. And he said, anybody comes over here, I got a
Yeah.
shotgun."
What breed of dog was that?
I don't know, but its name was River, and it was really sweet.
And
Thanks for putting that on there. So many people are afraid to put on somebody that's hunting. Why?
Well, when I stopped them to ask, they said that they are always anxious when people stop them when they're hunting because they don't want to be accosted about hunting on
Hunting.
conservation land. And I was like, well, the website will specifically say that that is allowed
It is allowed.
on
Yeah.
the trails.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the future, you can pull this up and be like, hey, look, my picture's on the hunting page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
some
it's,
guy, you know how they
there's a
got it.
chapter
He said,
in
I'm
verse.
shooting them anyway.
if there's a chapter and verse you could put in, like, you know, Mass General Law states, blah, blah, blah. And,
There's
you know,
not that, but I
something
did add some information since the last time you saw this on the hunting page.
Because of that way if anybody asks.
I
Another thing,
put the within 500 feet of residential homes we talked about in the deer stands, but then I added information from Division of Fisheries and
there you go,
Wildlife.
yeah.
And I have season information that's current on here.
And Jay's put out to, we have quite a few people that have pets
Yeah.
that work in town hall, and Jay put out, hey, if you go walking with your pet on the trail, take a photograph. You know, because we might do something silly like, hey, Rover rates this trail, you know, 4 out of 5,
yeah.
you know, for whatever.
4 out of 5 bones.
Yeah, have a little fun, you know, so we have, you know,
Yeah.
Oh, I saw. So where did I see? Did Dave do this? Somebody put up. I think it was at Burridge. Somebody put up a box, and it was like, choose your stick.
Oh, cute.
It was the
yeah.
best, and it was all kinds of sticks for the dogs to walk up, and yeah, it must have. I think it was at Burridge.
That's cute.
Choose your stick,
when I was in,
walking stick.
when I was in Vermont, in Stowe, my wife and I, we went hiking, and someone had set up, in a tree, they took gnomes,
Oh
a
yeah.
bunch of little gnomes, stuck them in the tree, and it was sticks, like leave a stick to sort of like pay the toll.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's all kinds of sticks around so it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Just wanted to point out real fast because it's my favorite page. The bird watching page also has a gallery of bird watching photos that
look at that
have
one's
all
got
been
fish.
taken.
Awesome.
Some good ones.
That have all been taken on Hanson trails. You know, that's another thing. We actually have really good bird watching on our trails.
Yeah, we do.
It's another way to get people's
Yep.
attention to come.
We had a
So-
great horned owl up behind my house. The conservation one up behind my house. It's hanging out for about a month.
That's really fun.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And
Oh
then-
shit! I should take a photo of it.
You should. Send it to
Stupid
me.
me.
We don't believe you.
Yeah.
Unless you see a picture.
Oh, I've been
If
listening
you
to
guys
it.
are doing anything fun on the trail,
I've
send
been
me a
listening
picture.
to it every night. Another thing too down in Burridge is stargazing. So the meteor night. There was, I mean, you got to be very careful walking on those trails. And I don't know if
Well, they're technically
Yeah.
open
dusk to dawn.
dusk till dawn, so
So
probably wouldn't want to put that on.
certain nights, we might have to talk to Mass Wildlife. They're right there to be able to say, hey, you know, if we snapped, you know, it did like a trail, Chemlight Trail out, you know, you could do that. But you can get about halfway into the Burge, and aside from the glow on the edges of the trees, you can see the Milky Way with naked eye. It's pretty dark.
You'd have to break some rules and sneak out there and see that one day. Should have said that quieter.
And the Person meteor shower was phenomenal out there.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And then our last page for now is upcoming events. Again, this will be updatable. So when the library is having a trail walk, if we do a stargazing, you know, anything like that, it can go up on this page.
Very cool.
And then in your packet, I have some information about the more technical aspects of the website. Oh, I can keep this up because I can show
Is that the technical reliability?
them.
Technical reliability?
That is one of the pages.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
It starts with the height Hanson. Justin's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hmm? It's that, but I was just gonna keep the website
okay.
up so I can show them what I'm talking about. So, you know, one of the things we're trying to do is get more hits on Google. So, this is what website code looks like.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah,
But
yay.
just as an FYI, all of this is in there just to talk to Google. So anything that starts with meta
Yep.
is things when Google is, or any search page, when you put in a search, they're not looking at the actual website, they're looking at the code. So you can put things in code that Google will prioritize when it's deciding what to show. So every single page on this website has metadata on it that gives additional information that Google can use to prioritize it. So anything that has meta there is that. If you go to,
If your site is separate but equal from the town site, can you also get sponsors? Like an REI or
So it will be a .gov site.
Oh, will be
So-
done. Okay.
I have been looking into like donations
Yeah,
and
can
things,
they, I
and
was
there
gonna say,
are
can
ways
they
to do
donate
that.
clicks, links? Yeah.
As long as it goes into a separate town, I've been doing research on this, as long as it goes into a separate town fund that's managed by the treasurer and it is transparent where that money's going, you can ask for donations.
Yeah, you could say site sponsored by REI, site sponsored by, Bass
I'm
Pro.
not sure about sponsorships. I
'Cause
looked
that's a different
specifically at donations, but
Yeah,
that's
if they make a
different.
donation to be able to keep the upkeep, the fees for the site, you can down the bottom, you could do a little bit of a icon for,
Adopt the trail type of deal.
Yeah.
and then what will happen is, as soon as you put that stuff on there, those Google metadata is gonna go to their sites.
Yeah.
So anybody that's looking for Bass Pro Shop, South Shore,
What color is your car?
it's still there.
And then this again is just metadata, but this gives like location information, so we'll come up on location searches as well.
You gotta misspell
Hmm.
Hike Hanson.
Here, that's gonna change anyway,
How strong you are.
because that's not where it's gonna be.
Me?
Yeah, pick them up in other towns.
Yeah.
That's
This is great.
High case.
Yeah. And then you say, I'll pick you up, but there's a fee for that.
Yeah, but I gotta drop it, it's one way.
The website is also meets all accessibility standards, so it's ADA compliant. It works well for different screen sizes. So if you shrink the screen, your menu sandwiches up here and everything stacks instead, so it still looks quite nice and is really usable.
It's gonna be applicable to cell phone.
Yes.
Awesome.
We do definitely want it. So this is what it would look like on a
Yeah.
cell phone. We use cohesive branding throughout it. We really focused on compressing images where we could so that the website loads really quickly and works very well. We have a search feature here that works. Did a little research before we made the site, and there is not anything like this in the South Shore. So as far as, again, serving up on searches for trails, we have an entire webpage dedicated to it. So
That's the Burridge.
So we could be at basically the forefront, ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So if this goes viral, so to speak,
Yeah.
we could have other towns asking us how you had to do that.
Yeah, how can we connect ours to yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I as far as big box stores, I'd even think local. Ski shop,
oh yeah,
Hanson Hay and Grain.
yeah, and the whole idea is, hopefully the trail system will now attract people here. Maybe we'll start to get businesses that are peripheral to that, like ski shop,
Yep.
fishing,
Yep, bike barn. Yeah.
canoeing, whatever. And if not in town, at least connected.
Yeah.
Some eateries, helps like Restoration Coffee. Gets maybe somebody else down on Main Street. Just hopefully it starts to just generate some economic development for the area.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's nice.
there's a few things that still are planning to add that we kind of talked about the last time I presented this. One is a get involved page. So right now, all of the Adopt a Trail and the volunteer information is on the conservation site. We think it might get better visibility here if it has its own page. So I'll have information about Adopt a Trail and the volunteer opportunities. And then I think this is actually something you had suggested, Kevin, that we have some way for people in the community to be able to contribute as well.
Great.
So
Great idea.
I'm planning, it's ambitious, but we'll see if I can pull it off, a page that's like a community bulletin board. Everything would have to be approved before it posted, so we don't have to worry about people being inappropriate. But people could post,
You
I saw
always
this
have
cool
to worry
bird,
about
I noticed this on the trails, watch out, or,
Great horned owl.
right. So that,
Bald eagle, because the bald eagle was spotted last year. I don't know if anybody got a photo of it, but yeah, bald eagle was spotted out in Burridge last year.
Laura is very skeptical about that.
About the bald eagle?
About
Oh, no.
somebody actually seeing one there.
Oh yeah, there's been a few spotted out in that area.
I think she's maybe upset she hasn't seen one.
Did you see the snakes out there too? Like the,
Oh, yeah.
those they climb the trees like so quick. I'm like, what? The?
Yeah.
A lot of my bird watching
Yeah.
pictures are from Laura that she sent me.
She's good at it.
Yeah, she's great. So those pictures are amazing. But yeah, so the community space just allow this to be more interactive and encourage people to post. And maybe if they start posting like that, they'll start using the hashtag and we can just get more visibility.
Yep. Perfect.
Are you presenting this to the community preservation committee at all, or no? To get donations, or
That's
Yeah.
not a current plan.
Yeah, we haven't reached that far yet, but, you know.
I am presenting next month of August according to plan to the select board
Awesome.
with the plan for it to go live after that.
Thanks.
So I mean, you know, she's just done a fantastic job, and you know, she wasn't asked to do it. You know, I asked for help, but you know, to take this on was I thought pretty amazing. You know.
Didn't know I was such a geek. Can make a website.
No, that is nothing I know. No, that's awesome. Any other questions from the board? Moving on, we have a public hearing. The time having arrived at 7:31. I'm going to open the public hearing, or continue to open the public hearing. High Street Park Committee. High Street Park is the working title submitted by High Street Park Committee for land located on High Street, map 49, lot 1, 1A-1. Discuss current project status. Town planner.
So unfortunately, we had to had town council pursue the engineer that's doing the design work, and they've been given a deadline of February 15th to either finish the work and give us our plans, or we will be seeking legal action against them for failure to do so. And that's where we're at this point. But I'm just, you know, I've given them all the professional courtesy that I could give them, and it's just, we're not messing about. They're really messing, you know, they're messing up our flow as far as being able to keep this project moving forward, grant opportunities, etc.
Yes.
So
Do
at
you
this
have
point,
any suggestions that we could do
with
to try to get them to come open up the fence and allow us to go in there?
where? I'm not.
You're talking about,
High Street Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the engineer.
yeah, well, he's not done, is he?
No,
Sure.
and he has till the 15th of February to be done, or
Sure.
we're going to go after him legally.
Okay, but do you wanna get a bunch of people together, go out and hold signs in front of his place? You know?
I'll poke a hole in his roof.
No, you know, I think,
You
You know-
got some big dogs down there that need to have some,
yeah, well, he has,
let them go and say,
Well,
oh,
we're gonna give
sorry,
him-
got loose.
We're going to give them till February 15th. After that, it's
yeah, after that, he's gonna be talking to council. So if, the board pleases, wishes, we can continue this to, was that the 20, let's say the 23rd of February?
my wife's going to be pissed. Look what I just pulled out of my pocket. I thought it was my cell phone. Entertain a motion to continue the public hearing until February
23rd.
23rd.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Cullen,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Robinson. All those in favor, any discussion in regards to that motion?
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
401, Tony. So that'll be continued. Moving on to board business. Open space, still kind of stale. I don't really know if there's anything that we need to do any crazy with open space right now, but I'm going to reach out to Mr. Clemens, see if there's anything that he wants to spark off, seeing how we're getting into the new year. As far as OCPC goes, send another email, or send a continued email off to the town planner. There's a technical opportunity that they're asking for towns to competitively submit if there's anything technical that OCPC can join in or support. Again, town planner paralleled with the grants. Anytime OCPC has anything, town planner submits to it, talks with OCPC. I know right now that there's somewhat of a hyper focus with OCPC on the Route 24 corridor being a data corridor. I'm thinking that Hanson might have an opportunity, possibly with Ox Ave, to have them take a look at that as well. I'm not sure if that's something that's tangible right now. OCPC has some other things on their website that they're looking for some input on. And one of those happens to be DOT Municipal Speed Feedback Signage Program. So
Yeah.
if anybody's ever seen the speed limit signs with the,
I forwarded that, Mr. Chair.
to highway.
I forwarded that to Highway and
Oh.
to the chief, the police chief. So I told him, listen, I can either help you out or you can take it on your own. Chief Casey responded saying that he would take that on. That
Awesome.
they're always looking for signs.
Yeah,
So I sent him all the information and the link because it is an online form. So he said that he was going to tackle that, and he's doing some coordination with the highway superintendent.
perfect. They've got some other things on their agenda that they're looking for input, but it really doesn't have anything to do. It's not effective on Hanson. It's more about Route 53 and Route 139. And then they're also looking at some, where was it here? In Kingston, Silver Lake water quality monitoring. So they're going over to Kingston and doing some water quality oversight at Silver Lake. So that's what's going on with OCPC. I don't know anything about the farmland partnership. I didn't follow up with that. I don't think that's really applicable in Hanson.
Well, there used to be dams and everything else on that line, and they had commercial businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and probably need to be tested.
So that's what's going on with our local regional. Mr. Ellis, High Street Park Committee.
Yeah, we're gonna start next week. I got a crew coming in.
Putting down a slide and a swing. So we'll have some significant updates on the park come mid-February.
Yeah,
EDC, Mr. Cohen.
Our next meeting is this Wednesday, the 14th. And if anyone would like to join, they're more than welcome to. I'll have another update next meeting.
What time, sir, and where's the location?
We're at 5:30 in the upper planning room.
5:30 here at the town hall, if anybody would like to attend. Mr. Robertson, CPC.
We have a meeting coming up Wednesday, January 14th at 6:30 in the Selectmen's meeting room.
At 6:30?
6:30, yeah.
Nice.
Just a couple things coming up. Applications for Monroe Cemetery, Part A, and then they have applications for nurses' quarters on High Street for a survey,
Mm-hmm.
a study, I mean. Then there's an application for veterans flags coming up for Part A. Then they're looking to purchase the Hubble property of Bay Circuit Trail Gap Closure. I guess they're looking to buy it, so I'm excited for that. Another thing is the Hancock Street Park. They got approved the Part A, and then the Part B is coming up. So
Beautiful.
what?
On Hancock Street Park?
Oh, down,
what
Mount
part is it?
Pleasant? Yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah.
And if I may, Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
that
jump
part of that money that for Hancock Street Park revitalization, I'll call it, came out of an earmark that we had received.
Beautiful.
So I know that they've done. I think they resurfaced the basketball court.
We did, yeah.
New nets.
Yeah, new
Yep.
nets and the fencing too.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
they repair the fencing?
Yep, the kids are out there playing all the time. Still, even in the wintertime, they're out there playing basketball and
Yeah,
baseball.
we had an earmark of $170,000, which was split amongst 3 projects. Hancock Street being one of them.
Is there, and not to say that I'm looking to see if the town of Hanson have signage all over the place, but is there something that's posted that says that the funds came from that?
No, believe it or not, no. But there should be definitely be something on the fences or
Yeah,
something.
there should be something that says, your community hard at work or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking of signage, I'm hoping to maybe see. I have a few things I want to go see the CPC about.
And believe it or not, the neighbors are actually putting out trash barrels so the kids play, and then they dump all their waste into the trash barrel and they get rid of it.
Awesome.
So that's one less thing for the town has to worry about. You know, they ain't picking up trash and other stuff. You know.
I just really think that if we don't promote ourselves
Right.
You know, if there's, there should be a sign along the fence that says something about, you know, this is your tax money hard at work.
Mhm.
You know, this got resurfaced because of a buy-in from the town.
Yep.
Nice work, everybody. Mr. Benonato, will hear from him probably in February, or at the end of the month.
We're on Hancock Street,
We're on Hancock Street?
yeah.
What's the park right at the corner of Hancock and, was it Union? Hancock and Union?
Is that the lot
It's
I got?
the baseball field.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's across the street.
yeah,
Yeah,
I own that. What do you wanna do with it?
we charge parking.
Got a hat, some goggles?
You want to open it for parking?
No, give it to the town.
What's that?
Yeah, hell, that lot I got.
Okay.
But they wouldn't do what I wanted them to do.
Well, then what'd you want to?
Wanted to make it a parking space so they could use the playground.
Who didn't want to do that?
Yeah, whoever was down there,
What do you mean whoever was down there?
I don't know, I made it known, I went to a town meeting and asked them if they wanted it, and they said, yep. I said, okay, we'll get together. Never gonna get together.
Well, did you want to?
No money, nothing.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah, no money.
Yeah.
It's right on the corner.
Yeah.
You park across the street there, and then there's another lot that the town owns across the street there. So you could open up that whole area and make a nice little park area there. Forget now who it was I was gonna do it with. Wasn't you, was it? No, it was Joe Weeks. That never came to fruition.
Well, they're looking for a donation.
Tell them over, I'll give it to them, just sign the deed.
Yeah, there you go. Tony, you heard it.
I
I'm
heard
paying the taxes on it all the time,
I
so.
heard it. Sounds like
Not much
an
money.
added to the list of the project.
There you go. Great updates, everybody. Next up, we have town planner update. Town planner.
So you have there in front of you, Mr. Chair, is invoices, 2 invoices for Verdantis. It's part of the pedestrian improvements grant,
Yep.
and I think it totals,
$1,526.25.
that's the number.
Any questions in regard to the signing of the invoice for Verdantis?
So the next thing I have is, as you may be aware that Hanson, we have a battery energy storage system bylaw, which we approved in 2024. The DOER has updated their regulations, and because they've updated their regulations, we have to amend our bylaw. So I've put in an article for the warrant for May town meeting. I've worked with town council. They've revised our bylaw to meet the regulations. So I will be bringing that before the planning board, and then moving it forward, if the board so wishes to the select board, and then we'll do the 180, have a public hearing, and go through the process under section 5 of MGL 48 to amend that bylaw and hopefully get that squared away in May town meeting. We have till the end of 2026 to get squared away, but obviously the sooner the better. And the last thing is we have a copy of the ZBA approval for 332 Long Ponce Street. I don't think this came before the board. It was for a in-home occupation to sell handmade soaps, lip balm, shower steamers, etc. So it was approved by the ZBA to allow.
What is that for? What is that for?
Just a couple of quick things, minor things.
No, that's yours.
I'm going to be sending out to you, Mr. Chairs, the annual report for the planning board.
Oh, I know, okay.
And I have a couple articles that I've turned into the select board's office for a May town meeting. I can discuss those at a later date. Beyond that,
I think so,
That's
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, great. Anybody have anything for good of the order? At some point, I don't know if I should just send an email over to Highway. They've put the street signage up for Harvard for the Fern Hill development. Fern Hill.
That'll work.
Meadowbrook.
County Road?
Yeah,
Okay.
so they need to put the private way sign up on top until that was to get accepted. I also saw the same thing over off of Spring Street on Cushing Trails. The road's now called Howland.
Is it,
Yeah.
Howland?
Howland Trails or something.
Now, I do believe that the intent of all of that, the private way signs, was that the developer is
Supposed to
to,
cover it, right?
say again?
To cover it?
Yeah, the developer's supposed to be covering that private way sign being placed up on top and up until it gets accepted.
Howland Trail in Hayford.
So I don't know if it, it was a Howland Trail and
Howland
Avery?
Trail and Hayford.
Hayford?
Yeah, it was
Hayford.
between Y-F-O.
So
I'd have to go look, but I don't think that project is gonna be a public way.
Which one? Cushing
Cushing
Trails?
Trails.
Yeah, so the private way signs that get, the
that-
toppers. That's the only thing that I've noticed. You guys will see as we get into the springtime, credit goes to Mr. Crisafulli from the building department. Last year, I don't know if anybody had heard, but he collected a plethora, and we're probably upwards about 50 to 60 signs where folks had violated the sign bylaw. So himself, I collected about 20 of them. We had gone around, and we know that right now the ground's frozen, but as we're getting into the springtime or whatever, we're going to start seeing those popping back up again. He was taking them off, 8-foot mounts up on trees and all kinds of stuff. So it's just the whole reason why we have the sign bylaws to keep the town clean. It's not Vegas. So credit goes out to Mr. Crisafulli over in the building department for maintaining that, and I want to make sure that he got recognized as we go into the new year. So
What's going on with that Lexington Road property across the street? They were tearing down the house and they had like 8 homes or whatnot.
Lexington Road, I'm not familiar with that.
Lexington Road.
Lexington Road, the one that right diagonal. They're putting a new development in, right backing up to the Hanson Middle School.
The preliminary. He's asking
Preliminary.
about the preliminary.
Oh,
hearing.
okay. Oh, that one. Haven't heard anything from the engineer, so I'd say at this point they're probably in the design phase.
Okay.
So when they're ready, they'll file and apply. One thing right now, the administrative assistant for the ZBA is out. So we're trying to do our best the planning department is trying to do our best to assist any way we can with the ZBA as far as folks that have applications and so forth. If you go on an email, it'll let them know to contact the town planner and the planning department. So we're working together to try and make sure that any applications that come into the zoning board will still keep moving forward.
Okay. We already voted on our calendar for the annual year, so it's just a reminder tonight that the next planning board meeting is going to be January 26th. We don't need to vote on it. We did a consent vote, and without any further ado, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Got a question?
Oh, Mr. Ellis,
These are still in good standing?
still in good standing, yes, sir.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn made by Mr. Cohen,
I'll second it.
seconded properly by Mr. Robertson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 401. It is 7:48. We are adjourned.